Welcome to Kletus Roadside service. We're headed out to Columbia. We're halfway done with the day, and it is almost noon. So that's not super good. It's gonna be a little bit late tonight, but it'll be all right. I did just get some. Well, I don't want to say unfortunate news because people are gonna like. Nobody's gonna freak out, but I got some little bit of interesting news. I've been talking to AI about my truck. I was like, I should look into the engine mounts. I should look into the flywheel. I should look into some things. So I started talking to the AI on my phone, the Google AI, and I don't know if it's. We're gonna find out before I start buying all these extra parts. We're gonna find out, but I am. It is making a little bit of sense. So I was kind of under the impression that the V6 was exactly the same as the 350, other than it's missing two cylinders and it's got a balance shaft in it. But other than that, almost everything should bolt up, which all the front components should bolt up. But I thought maybe it's using V8 motor mounts that are just on a plate that places the motor mounts further back. And turns out, according to AI, that is not the case. But one thing I did talk to somebody about, they said, yeah, the engine mounts from your square body, my square body, will not mount to the OBS, which makes sense. So, but I was like, oh, well, I don't have to worry about that because it's got V8 motor mounts. They're just on the adapter plate for the V6. According to Google, no. They're a totally different mount. But it did say that my front accessories should bolt up, so that's cool. I'm glad I got that. But it did say that there was an update to those engines in the 90s, or the Gen 2 small block Chevy uses a single piece rear main seal. This fucking truck. What the fuck did it hit the brakes for? It thought I was gonna hit somebody. This fucking piece of shit. You just pissed me the fuck off, you fucking truck. Every time it hits the brakes, it's like it spikes my blood pressure. Whenever it hits the brakes when I don't want it to hit the brakes. $1.99 ATM. What the fuck does that mean? It only costs $2 to get your shit. Don't you run across that fucking road, you fucking. Damn, I gotta get out of this fucking city. I need to get out on the fucking highway where there's just cars that aren't stopping. Jesus, this guy about to. They got a lot of hobos over here. And they do not give a fuck about you or themselves. So they will just walk into traffic. Causes problems. Anyways, man, I'm completely lost. Oh, it's my engine that's in the square body. Apparently, because I took pictures of the codes on the engine. I said, "Here, look at these. This is the engine I want to swap into it." And it said, "Oh, that is a Gen 1, so it's got a 2-piece rear main seal." And they redesigned the camshaft, so my flywheel from my V6 will not bolt up to the 350. That's I don't know. I guess I believe it because I read it, but I think I'm gonna actually find out before I buy a whole new, because it's saying I'm gonna have to buy a new clutch and a new flywheel, and engine mounts. And these are 3 things that I thought might swap over. The engine mounts, I'm pretty sure, and even if they do swap over, none of these engine mounts are fresh. So I should probably just get new engine mounts anyways, and get the correct ones, and not try to mismatch anything up. I don't know. I didn't think I would be really mismatching anything up, just using old engine mounts. If they're still good, use them. But that a truck just flew on the on ramp, and I thought he was gonna come straight over into my lane. Why are we beeping? Quit beeping, motherfuckers. Anyways, so I don't know. That's just fresh news that I wanted to talk about. That's the only reason I fired up the podcast. I just learned all these things, and so the engine swap could be super cheap, even if I do have to buy a few of these things. I can buy a flywheel clutch combo, and that'll work. And then I'm not worried about the starter, because that starter has multiple different ways to mount it. So no matter what flywheel I get, that starter will work. And but while I got the V6 pulled out and I'm cleaning up the engine bay, it might also be a good idea to replace the slave cylinder on the transmission. There really isn't a main reason I need to swap it out. I don't think it leaks. I don't know what is exactly going on there. But I know I tried to remove the slave cylinder once before, and it was such a pain in the ass. Oh, no, I do need to replace it, because it's got a band that holds the rod that goes onto the clutch fork. It's supposed to have a plastic band that holds it. So right now, if I lose too much clutch pressure, that rod, instead of it being held by the band, it will fall down and you'll have no clutch. It will not activate the clutch whatsoever. And that's what my brother had a problem with. It lost clutch pressure somehow, some way. Not sure. Maybe it was just close and nobody had checked the clutch fluid in a while. But maybe buying a new. And the master cylinder, I had to replace the master cylinder also, which was odd to me, because I already had replaced it once before. I feel like a master cylinder should last longer than, at this point in time, it was like 4 years. It was like 4 years old. And why the fuck a master cylinder for a clutch should last a long fucking time. I just missed my fucking turn. Can you believe it? Can you believe it? Son of a bitch. I was supposed to get on I-70, and I'm over here talking about slaves and masters. Now I gotta do a fucking U-turn somewhere, and there's nowhere to do a U-turn easily for another like 5 miles. Son of a bitch. I guess I should have had my map pulled up. Oh, I think there is actually an exit up here that I can take. It's an exit that I've never taken before, but I think we're going to attempt it today. I think it'll work. It's got to work. It's telling me to go that way, So yeah, I don't know. I already spent a lot of money, not a lot, $170 on an engine mount, engine hoist, and it's looking like I don't know. I just looked up on Amazon V8 engine mounts for a '92 Silverado, $90. So I don't. It's not that expensive, but it's like, okay, we're getting into some territory here where I might need to sell a vehicle before I can afford everything. And then I don't remember how much I spent on the clutch whenever I replaced the clutch, but it's saying it's even going to be the wrong clutch because that's for a V6 clutch. I'm like, it's the same transmission though, and it should be a little bit more horsepower, but it's not going to be like a crazy amount. The clutch should hold up, you know. I've never had any issues with that clutch. But yeah, buying a flywheel and buying a clutch and buying a slave cylinder and a master cylinder and the engine mounts and it's not going to be a crazy expensive deal, but that's like save up a couple of paychecks before I do that, or buy a little on each paycheck until I get there. And I'm the truck is kind of my unwritten plan, an untalked about plan right now was to, whenever I sell the Jeep, I'm going to that's going to be the exhaust money basically. I need to get mufflers and everything for it. But I'd like to get all that done before November because that November is when the tags expire and the inspection will be invalid. So hopefully I can. It's not going to take that long to get the truck going. I was kind of thinking, shit, it'd be cool as fuck to drive it on Monday, like next Monday. Like if I'm this excited about it and I've got everything I need, I think at least getting the engine swapped over really shouldn't take more than a weekend. But only if I have the right parts, you know. And that clutch and slave cylinder, they work fine. I just need to top off the fluid and make sure it's good. I might actually drain all that clutch fluid out and then re-bleed everything and just make sure it's all like fresh clutch fluid because I think it looked kind of dark. So maybe I just pull the bleeder out and I just put an airline on it and blow all that liquid out and get fresh, clean clutch fluid in there. You know, and I mean, it would be nice to do the same thing with the brakes. You know, get all the brake fluid blown out. Maybe redo the brakes. Man, you know, I can get real expensive real fast on this truck because it doesn't need much other than, you know, like an engine that runs. Like if the engine ran good, I could drive it every day. But it's like, man, it's, you know, it's not too often that you're going to have the entire engine pulled out and have all that room to work and play. I guess if I hold on to that engine hoist, I can just pull the engine out again at another point in time if there's something I'm not able to finance at this particular moment. But yeah, I'll be fine. I just gotta sell 3 vehicles, and then I'll have plenty of money to throw at this rusted out hunk of shit that's gonna get horrible gas mileage. But it's gonna be miles per gallon. I hope. It's not gonna be. If it makes it 2 full tanks of fuel before it breaks down, we're winning. I have a lot of faith in that crate engine or reman engine. It was according to the engine code and everything. It was a reman, and it's from Mexico. It's a Gen 1 reman from Mexico. I've heard some bad things about the Mexican blocks, but it's been in there and it's been running for a while, so I have faith that it can keep on going for a little bit longer. And then if I need to do another engine swap later on down the line, guess what? I've already been through it all, so I know exactly what I'll need. But yeah, we're getting closer and closer. I'll try to definitely document, and I don't know. I'd like to do videos. And if I just do videos off of my phone, I'll just end up doing shorts. I probably won't do like a long engine video. Maybe I can save up the videos and make like one long from start to finish engine swap. But I'm thinking I'll just record a couple little videos and then do like YouTube shorts or something with it, and also share them to the Facebook too. But hell yeah, brother! Pretty freaking excited. I'm wondering if I could probably just find a flywheel on Facebook Marketplace or go to the junkyard and maybe find one. I know a bunch of people. I know a few different people. I wouldn't say a bunch of people. I know a few different people that might have Gen 1 flywheels just hanging around, I think most people have flex plates, which are for an automatic. I don't think there's too many people doing a manual to automatic engine swap. That seems a little redundant. People love manuals. And I love them too, but whenever you're sitting in traffic and you're just sitting there, roasting the fuck out of your clutch, it gets old. It does get old. But, driving the Jeep and dealing with its little quirks is also a little bit of a pain. It is nice to be able to not have to clutch it and shift it. It's been so long since I've had an automatic. My last automatic was my Sierra. I had a GMC Sierra. It had an LS in it. Oh yeah, I had the LS power, the 327 cubic inch, whatever the fuck, 328 cubic inch. I don't know what the fuck. It was a 5.3. And tell you what, there's a lot of sensors on a 5.3, almost as much as a TBI. I don't like sensors. I really don't like sensors at all. So I'm pretty excited to go this direction. Do sensors really help you save your engine, or do they just mainly cause you a fucking headache and make your shit not run properly because they're trying to read improper? I think that's the main case. I want an engine. If you give it fuel, you give it air, and you spark on that motherfucker, and it's got compression, it's gonna bang off and run. It don't need no fucking sensors to tell how much fuel to give it, all that shit. She's just old school. Now, carburetors also, they can also be a real pain in the fucking dick. What the fuck is that noise? Oh, it's a fucking Dodge Journey. I thought it was a fucking freight train rolling up on me. There's a Dodge Journey with a muffler blown out. All right, you motherfucker. I'm tired of my shit beeping because you refuse to do the speed limit. Jesus. Beep 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 beep. If they're within a football field of me and they're doing a half a mile an hour lower than me, this motherfucker just starts beeping and wants you to be aware you could be coming up on a slower vehicle. Hey, listen, they're way the fuck up there. Quit beeping at me. I did fix something today, and it's continued to be fixed as of right now. I had a light. A wire got pulled out of one of my lights on my trailer, and my shop is so ill-equipped nowadays compared to my last company. We had 3 full-time mechanics with every tool, piece, and part and everything known to man available. Now I'm at this shop, and they're like, "We got a ratchet set over here." I'm like, okay, I need a wire strippers and a butt connector. He's like, "Oh, I got a couple butt connectors in my office," and he's like, "Here's some needle nose pliers." I'm like, "I don't need needle nose. I need wire strippers." He's like, "We don't have any." I'm like, you don't have any? But luckily, I drove the Jeep in today, and in the back of my Jeep has more tools than my shop does. Apparently, because I have wire strippers. I should have just went over, not said anything to him, and went and got one of my fucking heat shrink connectors, my heat gun, and I had wire strippers also, which is really convenient. They're not my favorite wire strippers. My favorite wire strippers are still at the house in a box near the garage door, a little to the left, beside the shop vac, on the ground underneath the box. You know, I know where my tools are in my garage. They're not where they should be, but I know where they're at. Most of the time, I say that now, and I'll show up there. I'll be like, "Where are those fucking wires? My favorite wire strippers? Oh fuck, I don't know where the fuck they're at. They were supposed to be right here." But yeah, I mean that just goes into the same shit. I'm gonna need to really clean up. This motherfucker is beeping again. I'm gonna really need to clean up my garage, get all my tools at least slightly more organized than they are currently. And I wish I could kick my own ass. And I could. I might throw something out and make my life even worse. But I have multiple tool sets that I went through, and I went through every socket that I own. I went through all the wrenches and ratchets and extension, and I made my tool set. I was like, this is going to be the tool set that's for on the go. And I have all the same tools and way more in my big toolbox in my garage. And I said, if I'm working on something in the garage, I need to use that. If I am on the go, I'll take this toolkit and I can put everything right back. Well, that wheel is about to fall off of that minivan. Seriously, about to fall the fuck off. No, I open up my toolbox. I use those tools. I forget where I put them, so I open up my Go box, and now my Go box, all my tools are just all over the fucking place. Some of them are over next to the radio. Some of them are next to the deep freeze. Some of them are next to the support pole in the middle of the garage. Some of them are in that bucket. Some of them are in that basket. Some of them are in the box next to the front of the garage door where the fucking wire strippers, I think, are. Some of them are in my Jeep. And there's just all of my tools are just scattered everywhere. And I've the last few times I've had to use tools, I've tried to. All right, I'm using this tool. Let me put it where it goes when I'm done with it. So I have like 3 tools that were not where they were supposed to be and now are, but there's 1,000 other tools. Because like when I did ball joints, I have all the tools that I use for ball joints are still laying on the ground over there. Um, yeah, pretty much the only tools that have been cleaned up are the tools that were in my laundry room and on the counter in my kitchen. Because sometimes I need tools inside. I'm going to use the tool inside, and then I'm way too lazy to walk all the way back into the garage to put the tools away. I'm just going to leave them on the counter to make sure whatever I fixed stays fixed. What if I need them tools again? And I just wasted 2 trips going up and down putting shit away when I knew I should just leave it out on the counter. It's been months that they've been sitting on the counter, but I know where they're at. You know, no, I'm saying those actually got put away. Before we went on vacation, we cleaned everything up, and I cleaned up the laundry room, and I cleaned up the kitchen, and I picked up all of my stuff and put it all where it's supposed to go. So, actually, no, I didn't put it where it's supposed to go. I put it uh, in a box, and I threw it in the garage. I just all kinds of shit, trash, junk, tools, leftover parts, broken part. This is how men operate, okay? Don't be looking at me like I'm a fucking slob. Everybody does this. Except for some of the people I know. Like my stepdad, he's got a nice little tool chest, small but effective, and he knows where everything is, and he always puts everything back. My father-in-law, he has a lot of tools, and they all get put back as soon as he's done with them. But he also manages a shop, so he knows. He's been in the situation where if he doesn't put his tools back, they might get walked off. They'll be gone by some other mechanic or customer or somebody. And then both of my neighbors, one of my neighbors, he is a mechanic. I wouldn't say retired mechanic, but he's retired, and he also used to be a mechanic. But he also is a mechanic, still a little bit. He's always got his family and close friends and friends of friends' cars in his driveway. He's out there working on them, doing stuff. But I'll tell you what, every time I've called him to ask him if he has a tool, he never has the fucking tool. What was it? What was it that I needed? Oh, it was a 7mm something. And he's like, no, I don't have that. I'm like, son of a bitch, how do you know you don't have it? You just immediately said, no, I don't have that. Maybe he does have a running database in his own mind of he's got it or doesn't have it. But I think he has come to the point where he's like, I never have the tool that you're going to ask for, so quit asking me because I don't loan out tools. I imagine that's where he might be at, which is perfectly fine. But, it's like, fuck, man, I just need this one tool for 1 second, and you might have it next door. Rather than me fucking having to go up to the fucking Harbor Freight or somewhere else or Amazon and have to order it and buy it just to do this one little thing. Like, come on, man. I thought about, now that I've used it and I'll never need it again, I should walk it over to him and say, hey, yeah, just put this in your collection. So, because this is the one tool you don't have, apparently. Just to be a little fucking dickhead if I wanted to be about it, but I don't really want to be a dickhead to him. He's a nice guy. Just, I need to not, he's last line of defense. And even then, there ain't no defense there. He ain't gonna help, which is fine. He's helped me with a couple things here and there, but man, we had a crazy storm last night. I guess I should have looked in my backyard. I didn't even let the dogs out this morning. There's something wrong with me to where I have 21 alarms set on my phone, and I will sleep through 13 of them. And it's always like 13 of them. I need to figure out what the sound is on the 14th alarm, and set that as like number 5 or something, because I can sleep into number 5 alarm and be perfectly fine. But when you get to the 13th alarm out of 21, like from 15 on, it's like you are super late and you are fucked, But I always set so many alarms just in case, If I sleep through my 4 o'clock alarm, I still need to be up by. I should have been up fucking 2 hours ago, but I always over exaggerate how many alarms I need, but I'm not even exaggerating because I slept through 13 of them multiple times in a row now. And it's not like I've been super late to work or anything, but I haven't been as early. I've wanted to come in early because right now, like what I'm looking at today is if I could have got up 2.5 hours earlier today, I could have been off 2.5 hours early than I am right now. I'd be on my way back from Columbia right now. That's what I'm saying. But I'm headed to Columbia, and I'm not. I still have an hour and a half to go before I'm there. Then I gotta load. Then I gotta get paperwork signed. Then I gotta get turned around and get the fuck out of there. And anyways, what was I saying? I have so many alarms set. I should have looked in the backyard. I did. That's what I was going after. I didn't let the dogs out because I was in a little bit of a tizzy this morning trying to get the fuck out of the house. And I was like, I don't even have time to let you motherfuckers out. You guys are gonna need to keep whining and barking in here until somebody else wakes up because I'm getting the fuck out of here. And I only sleep for a couple of hours every night anyway, so it's not like they're locked up for very long. They just think when I'm up, they should go out. Usually they do, but not today. I said, I gotta fucking go. I don't have time for nothing. So what I was also getting at was I should have looked in my backyard to see if the tarp is still on the Jeep. That's what I wanted to say. Because I have the Jeep all tarped up outside, sitting there nice and purty, looking better than a shitty old rusty Jeep. It just looks like a big tarp ball. But I'm wondering because we got hit kind of. I mean, it was howling, so I imagine there was some wind in the backyard. But luckily, my house is it's not really in a valley, but I'm like I have a big hill in my backyard. It's probably like an 8-foot tall hill. It's a steep hill, and and then on top of that, there's a bunch of fucking trees and stuff. So whenever we get high winds, there's a lot of shit to block a lot of wind in my backyard, which is cool. But for some reason, that little playhouse that I have in the backyard, every time it's even a little bit windy, that playhouse, and I put it all the way up under my porch. Put it all the way up under my porch, up against the house, and every time it's knocked over and blown around, and I'm like, how the fuck? Maybe under my porch is just not a good. This is a bumpy motherfucking road. Under my porch is just a wind tunnel, apparently. But anyways, I hope my Jeep is still covered up. I don't care if rain gets on it. I just don't want to have to re-tarp the motherfucker. Me and Luke put the tarp on there, and I might go and try to throw a couple more bungees on that just to make sure it's good. Oh, we got a. It's noon 20. We got a new Joe Rogan, Steve Hilton. Who is Steve Hilton? Let's look. Let's read. Businessman, political commentator, author, Republican candidate for governor of California. Don't really care to listen to that. I will, but I don't really care to. I got other guys that I've been listening to. I got ADHP in the house. Zaga! I've been listening to them a little bit. They're a good show. Go check them out. It's a nice casual conversation. They don't get into political shit. They don't get into anything like super deep. They're just a couple of bros hanging out, having a conversation. That goes the same with the old Backroad friends, Broken Wing Nuts. And I was actually on their show the other day. Had a good time on there. It was a very short time, but it was because I was still at work. I had pulled up their live, and I was just listening to it as I was about to be at my shop and about to be off of work. And I was backing into the building, and he sent me a video chat request, and then I guess I'm just kind of explaining this so he'll know, because I think he listens to me. I hit accept request, and it wouldn't accept, so I had to decline it and then send him a new one. So you'll hear, if you go over to their channel and check it out, you'll hear him talk about it. He's like, he denied it. Yeah, I did. I denied it. I had to deny it to accept it. And then I was backing into a building also, but I'm talking on a headset, so it's not like I don't see it as being distracting. I was mainly focused on backing my truck into the building, which I did wonderfully. Didn't hit anything. Got it backed in there nice and straight and perfect and good. But then, this trailer that I'm hauling is real full of sludge. And in order for me to offload any waste, I have to pull vacuum to pull the sludge away from the outlet. And then once it pulls that sludge away from the outlet, I can turn off the vacuum, and then it'll start flowing. And it's not a big deal. It's just a little bit of a process that all happened right in the middle of me coming onto their show. I really should have just denied it and not accepted it and been like, well, I'll talk to you in a little bit. But I know they only record for like 30 minutes at a time, so I wanted to get on there. I love being on people's shows. So if you want me on your show, if you have a show, let me know. And I'll be on there. If you want to be on my show, please reach out. Facebook is in the comments. The YouTube is in the comments. You can get a hold of me in multiple ways. You can also just leave a comment on Spotify, and I will get back to you. I got a couple of comments. I got one from Shane talking about doing a video series on the engine swap. I'm going to do my best. And then I got one from old Jason Ralph, one of the back road friend. And he said, I got a lot of information. I don't know if you should use that information, but I don't know what information you got. He said, wow, this is a very informative episode or something like that. Okay, hey, be careful with knowledge is power, and it should be used carefully. I don't know what knowledge you got from me. Use it carefully, please. I don't know what the fuck I said. I don't know what you were exactly referring to, and this is all for entertainment purposes only. Please don't do anything that I tell you to, except for comment and like and subscribe and rate and fucking. And you don't even have to do that. It's fine. We're doing fine. The show ain't going anywhere. If I don't get any views, if I don't get any likes, if I don't get any comments, the show is going to continue to go. Okay, don't think I rely on that stuff. I do like community interaction, but I'm going to still just record and keep going. And one thing maybe I shouldn't admit this, but I think what I'm going to continue to keep doing is quit marking my episodes as explicit content. Yes, I cuss. Yes, I say a lot of shit I probably shouldn't say. But I think that's holding back a lot of viewers because my show is still so small. Like, pretty much, it's such a small show, which is fine. I want it to stay small. But I think I could expand a little bit and grow as a channel. Just my voice reach more people that might be interested. Mainly, I'm looking for bored people that have about an hour to an hour and a half of boredom, and they're like, I have nothing to do. There's nothing going on. Let's listen to this fat fucking idiot ramble on. That's what I'm looking for. That's all. That's my base is for people that have an hour and a half and they want to listen to some stupid ass shit, which is what my show is. But this motherfucker going slow as shit, dude. Come on now. We're going around them. We're making a pass. Ricky Bobby. Slingshot, engage. Yeah, fuck you and your box truck, you slow fucking piece of shit. I didn't know how I wanted to explain what you were. Piece of shit. Match. You might not be a piece of shit. You might have just a really slow ass truck. But you're inhibiting my driving ability by doing 45 on the highway. I'd like to get around your ass. So yeah, I fixed the light on my trailer, and look, it's still on. Still works. I had a wire that was bad. Oh, one thing I wanted, I don't know. It's not that I wanted to get on here and talk about it, but it's something that I've been viewing a lot lately. My algorithm, I changed something in my phone, and there's a distinct change in my algorithm. And it's odd. I don't know how to exactly explain it. But I went on my phone. I was watching a Facebook Reels, and somebody said, "Oh, don't give them your data. Go change these settings in your phone." So I went and I changed those settings in my phone, and it was like, "Do not personalize ads, and don't collect my data," and blah blah blah. A couple things like that. Which in my mind, it kind of makes you more of a target whenever you do something like that. But maybe it doesn't. I don't know. Maybe I don't think people follow the rules. That's another thing that I've been seeing a lot lately. Is just they're like that's illegal. Yeah, they don't give a fuck if it's illegal. The flock cameras, they're like, okay, go talk to your fucking community council and bitch about us. We don't give a fuck. No matter what you fucking do, we're still gonna do what we want to do. Like, oh yeah, we can deflock this city. You're not deflocking shit. They're not following by the rules. The only way to truly, this is for entertainment purposes only, the only way that people are truly not followed by these cameras are when those cameras are taken down, whether by a professionally licensed company or a fucking guy on a fucking scooter and a hacksaw. Oh damn, that's a big ass bump. You get around it. Anyways, and that wasn't even what I was talking about. My algorithm now is takeovers, like people doing donuts in intersections in takeovers, and every single video somebody is hit by a car and like ragdolled, and man, they are just so satisfying sometimes, but they're also like, this is the world we live in. Like, I've not seen the same video twice, and that's every video that I sit and watch for hours. It's never the same video, and there's hundreds and thousands of them of people doing donuts in an intersection and running over people, hitting people, crashing their car, people getting shot. It's like, what is going on? And I'm out here in Kansas City, so I mean, a lot of them do happen here too. Shootings, stabbings, robberies, arsons, police chases, overdoses. There's so much shit out here in Kansas City that happens. It's so bad that I'm just glad I'm south of the city. I'm bad stuff happens everywhere. It just happens a lot less in my town. And I don't hang out in the city. If it's even close to being dark, don't go to Kansas City. If people start yelling, just raising their voice, or just looking upset, you need to disperse. Get the fuck out of there. If somebody starts doing a donut in an intersection, you're gonna want to get out and look. Don't do it. Back up. Don't try to get through the intersection either. They will murder you. You will be murdered. And if you don't get murdered, at least your vehicle will look like you got murdered. They will smash your windows, slash your tires, and fuck your ass up. So yeah, I don't know. I'm at the point where if a crowd gathers around my vehicle, just either try to sit and stay calm and don't give them a reason to attack you. But I feel like you being alive is a good enough reason for them to do that. So if somebody starts hitting your vehicle and you end up running somebody over, you have to run over more and more people. You have to run them all over. Do not stop. I've seen so many of those videos where somebody's like in the wrong place at the wrong time, and they maybe they're getting a little irate and a little upset, which is understandable, and they might run over like a foot of one person. You cannot stop after you make that move. You cannot stop. You have to keep going. Like, I don't know. It's the way the youth are today are savages. The parents are my generation, and I think my generation is all right, but even the generation that came after mine, they are now the parents, and I don't trust anybody my age or younger. You cannot trust any of these people. They are all. Well, let me back up a little bit. Not all of them, But a lot of them are horrible parents that don't give a fuck what their children do. They will actually encourage some of this fucking shit. Uh, you gotta get the fuck out of there. You gotta run them all over and don't look back. You get surrounded by a crowd of kids, you gotta run them over with your car. I invest in four-wheel drive vehicles only, not because of crowd control. But it will come in handy if you get stuck on multiple bodies that you have run over. In order to make it through a crowd of people, of children that are beating your car and want to murder you, you have to run them over and put her in 4 low and get the fuck out of there. Maybe not 4 low. It might be too low geared. You need some speed. You need some speed and momentum to run over a crowd of people. I wish there was another way. If cars had a fucking go-go gadget helicopter that could pop out the roof and you could fly away, I'd say do that. Don't run anybody over. But whenever if you're driving around downtown any city, but I'm going to just say Kansas City. If I'm driving around downtown Kansas City at night for some reason, and somebody decides to do a takeover right in front of your truck, and there's nothing you could do, you got to run them over and get the fuck out of there as fast as you can, and don't stop for a long time, because they will chase you. I don't like that type of world. I don't want to run anybody over. But when you're faced with running over 70 children or getting murdered, I say run them over. I got to look out for me. I read that in a self-help book. You gotta look out for yourself first. You can't worry about what other people are doing. And if they're standing in front of your car, you can't worry about them standing in front of your car. You got to run them over. I mean, maybe I need to figure out how to change my algorithm, because I feel like 2 months ago I was not in favor for running over crowds of children, and now I'm not in favor of it. I'm just saying that is the only way to get out of it. Man, these takeovers are crazy. And then there was a state fair or something that happened, and you can't go to a state fair after dark nowadays. I had my instance where I went to, there was a state fair in a town near me, and I was there with my 2 children, and I didn't think I knew there was going to be youthful teens out there having a good time. I didn't know they were going to pull out bear spray and tasers and guns and knives and try to murder everybody in the area. I didn't know that was going to happen. Luckily, I got out of there before that happened, but it did happen shortly after I left. Like, I could have been on the Ferris wheel looking down, and people are just macing people and stabbing. And it's like, when you're on a Ferris wheel, you hope that motherfucker stops. You also got to hope. I mean, these kids are crazy. They might start climbing the Ferris wheel. And if you're on a Ferris wheel and you have crazy teens crawling up towards you, you have to use your feet to kick them off. 4-wheel drives and steel-toe boots are, if you're leaving the house, if you're going anywhere, you need to have a 4-wheel drive and steel-toe boots to protect yourself. You stomp the kids in the face. I just don't see there's no talking your way out of any of this. This is how they enjoy being outside. Would you rather than be inside playing Grand Theft Auto Yes, I think if you have any violent charges, you should be locked away or on house arrest, and they should give you Grand Theft Auto. Here's Grand Theft Auto. Murder as many people on Grand Theft Auto as you'd like. Just quit doing it in real life. Give them a VR headset and say, "Go have fun. Be your true self," which is murdering people. Do it on a video game. Quit doing it to real life people. Anyways, yeah, that's my algorithm. That's part of it, and then the other part of it is the war, drone attacks, and sometimes they put like a beat to it, and I don't like those drone attacks at all. I've got a couple of different thoughts about how those drone attacks are. My first thoughts whenever I see drone attacks are that is inhumane. That is against the rules. You should be able to just fly a $17 drone with C4 strapped to it into people and blow their legs off, blow their heads off. You shouldn't be able to do that. And I'm conflicted because my other thought is, wow, that is really effective. That is so effective in war. Like, there's nothing they can do. You are putting just the sound of a drone puts the fear of whatever their god is into their mind. Like, they are so scared when they hear a drone because they are so fast and so accurate. You can just drive a bomb right into a person's clavicle. And I can't think. A clavicle is either near your hip or in your jaw. I'm not sure where it is, but drones are effective for that. I really dislike seeing those videos. It really weighs on me every time I see one of those videos. Am I clicking off of it? I should, and sometimes I do. Sometimes I don't. I like to be aware of what's going on. But this is all overseas. But it's like, guys, you got to think about, like, this technology and warfare can come over here so easily. And it's like, oh, no, we got guns. Guns against drones or not? I'm not gonna, like, hey, you got to go fight this guy. He's gonna be 10 miles away with a headset on and a drone, and you pick whatever gun you want. Let's see who wins this. I don't like my odds. I do not like my odds at all. Guns against drones are not effective. The drones are zippity kablammy. So they are effective war tools, and I just did not see this happening. I mean, whenever the drones first came out, everybody was worried they were going to have a gun mounted to it. How silly are we to think that somebody was going to strap a Glock to a drone and use that to shoot somebody? That is silly. That is like an immature way to think about drone weaponry. It's not going to have lasers on it. It's not going to shoot bullets. It's going to have a big ass firecracker that is going to blow your fucking legs off on impact. It's going to just kablam, They don't give a shit. Like, what the fuck, man? It's getting scary. So, anyways, it kind of ties into what I was talking about earlier. nobody cares about following the rules anymore. Like, there is no, people are not following the rules. People think we're following the rules. Nobody is following the rules. So, I mean, how hard would it be for somebody to bring some of those? They don't even have to bring them. We sell them here. You can go to fucking Radio Shack, and I said that on purpose, not meaning it's out of it. That's gone now. You can get on Amazon and order a fuckload of drones and have them sent to your house. Okay, so thinking that, oh no, it won't happen here, it very well could, and it's scary to think about. And it's like, who's going to be on the other end of the drone? It could be anybody. It could be your neighbor who's flying these drones. It could be anybody. It doesn't have to be somebody named Ahmed or or whatever. It could be somebody named Frank that just got laid off from the Amazon factory. He ordered 75 drones, went to work, packed them up, and then drove them to his own house, and then got fired. But he's got 75 drones that he's going to strap M80s to and go fuck with people from the safety of his own home. Nobody follows the rules. You think people are going to follow rule and order? No. Nobody gives a shit about the rules anymore. The data centers, they do not get. You're going to get a fine. Like, yeah, I'm going to bulldoze your farm, your family farm that you've had forever. I'm going to bulldoze it and you might even have like animals still there. We're going to burn it down and bulldoze it. And you think, oh well, you're going to pay for that. Okay, yeah, we will. That's what these data centers say. Like, you're not allowed to put that here. Oh, okay, I won't. And then they put it there, and then you're like, you're not allowed to do that. It's like, I don't have to follow the rules. I have a lot of money. I don't have to follow the rule. I'm a data center. I don't have to follow the rules. I can pay off anybody and everybody and steal all the water from everybody. Like, one of the most heartbreaking stories about the data centers, well, not most heartbreaking, but it is disheartening, was there was a neighborhood, and they were like, we're going to buy up a bunch of these houses. So they sent out offer letters for people to sell their house. Do it, buy the book, buy the rules. And then, so they got all the people they needed to sign up to sell their house to the developers of this data center. But there were like 4 or 5 people. They were like, we actually don't need your house. So that offer has been rescinded. So now these fucking families are sitting there. They're like, hey, we said we'd sell our house to you. And they're like, we don't need it. We're like, but hey, no, we will sell our house to you. And they're like, we don't want to buy it. And it's like, what the fuck? So, I mean, it's silly, it's funny, but it's also horrible, because now these people own a house. Every house around them has been demolished and turned into a big buzzing data center that's stealing your water. And now these people have houses, and they're like, I can't sell my fucking house now. I wanted to sell it to you. The data center was like, well, we thought about buying it, but we don't need it. So why would we buy it? We don't need it. We'll save a couple $100,000. And it's like, hey, I think, it would be nice if the data center would be held Like, no, you need to buy their houses from them for the original price because that's ridiculous. Is it going to happen? Probably not. Those people just have to live with the buzzing. Make it an Airbnb for the. They're like, oh, we're going to create jobs. We're going to create 2,000 jobs with each of these data centers for 5 years. It's like, and then there's going to be like a staff of 20 because once they're built, we don't need people here. It's all ran by AI. So it's like they're not creating jobs either. They're creating short-term jobs. That's it, you know. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. The world. I feel like we're headed to a bad place, and honestly, they don't. The people that the people that have the money that are doing these things to make a lot of money don't care because you're the working class. You know, hey, you should support the work. Why? I have AI coming. If I fuck over 100 families and put a data center here, I'm gonna get the working class to come build it for me, and then lay them off. We don't need you anymore, or the project is just completed. And then we have these 2,000 people. We don't need you for anything. So if you get displaced, if you get pushed out, we don't give a fuck. We want you to go away. We have too much of a population. We don't need a working class. We need a couple working class, but we don't need that many working class. Like, so it's gonna get real fucking weird, man. So I don't know. You can elect all the people that are saying all the right things, but if the people that are doing the stuff that we disagree with aren't following the rules, it doesn't matter who we get elected. And another crazy thing: have I flipped my stance on China? I listened to Theo Vaughn's podcast, and he had some guy that's a high school teacher or professor or something. I don't know, but it was a really good listen. And he, I don't know, he's just like, yeah, China's sitting over here like, I mean, you're really worried about us taking over? Like, I don't know. It's like, should I start getting on China's good side? Should I start agreeing with, like, we're headed there? We're headed to totalitarianism. I don't know if that's a word, but I said it. That's where we're going. Do you want to be one of the fucking ants that's pushing against it? Can't beat them? Better try to join them. No, I ain't. But I don't. It's so crazy how my mind can change so much that I'm like, yeah, I don't know. I'm starting to. Well, I mean, honestly, the people that are taking over or becoming in control of the United States, uh, I I think China's not near as bad as them. That's what I said. I mean, and my mind can be changed easily, but that's where I am right now. I think the people that are trying to take control of America are worse than the CCP. Like, so pick your poison. I don't know. I feel like we're we're headed to bad days. Okay, you can go cut down as many flock cameras as you want. It's not. It's that's just entertainment. Where they're coming, and it sucks because everybody needs a job. Everybody wants to, get on a good project, make lots of money. So, hey, I need you to go set up 50 flock cameras. Here's the bid. People are going to put their bids in, and they're going to get the job. They're going to go do it. 70, 40 of them got cut down, so we need to throw another bid out there. Hey, you guys go put them up. We're gonna track you, and man, oh man, exciting times. And this phone's watching me. That phone's watching me. They're collecting data. They're collecting. I got a profile somewhere. Everybody's got a profile somewhere. You're listening to this. I don't know. You think you're like, oh, it doesn't go that deep. No, it actually goes way deeper. It goes way deeper than like they are collecting information, and it's not like somebody sitting there watching you collect this. It's just information is getting collected whenever they're like, hey, we want to know who does AI think disagrees with this? Let's go talk to them. Hey AI, tell me who has who's thinking about cutting down a flock camera. Let's go talk to them. Let's send some police over there. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. It's a crazy, just some crazy thoughts. This is for entertainment purposes only. And I'm not even trying to be funny here. I would never cut down or run over a flock camera because I know they have cameras watching the flock cameras. They have cameras for the cameras. You can't get away with anything these days. You can't even I'll park 5 blocks away. Okay, that ain't gonna change anything. They got your license plate. They know you headed over there to that plate. There's no hiding. There's no hiding nothing. You better just be a good boy. You better be a good boy and just follow the rules. Nobody else is following them, but you better fucking follow the rules. You're like, hey, man, I don't know. It's like, wow, I'm siding with lawyers and the CCP more than I thought I would in 2026. Yeah, we can try to keep our humanity for a little bit longer. Now I guess I don't know. I don't think my backroad friends would know too much. Maybe they do. Maybe they do have good insight into it. I saw a video, and I know it's only one video from one thing, one incident, but a guy got pulled over, and they said you need to go with us because we're gonna do a mental health check on you, make sure you're not insane. And it's like, what? Can you just can police just do that? They can just pull you over and they're like, hey, we think you might be fucked in the head. Come with us. And obviously you're going to be upset at the situation. You're probably not going to be your normal, happy, good self, but, yeah, we think we need to do an evaluation on you, make sure you're not a crazy guy. And they'll bring you in, and then, with just a few swipes of their pen, they could put you into some sort of mental health or mental place. It's like, hey, I'm not crazy. Yeah, that's what every crazy person says. Take these pills and go watch fucking SpongeBob. It's like the ability for somebody to ruin your life is just so easy. But I don't know. This is all stuff that you see online. My actual real life is doing pretty good. I see the flock cameras. I haven't been. I haven't had a bad interaction with the flock camera. I'm just anticipating one, and maybe that is wrong. Data centers aren't near my house. Nobody's trying to buy my house to put a data center there, so we're good. I will say that all the Hardys shut down. That's a crime. I thought it was all of Missouri and all of Kansas. There's still a couple of Hardys. I just have to drive an hour to get to them. Hey, what's up with that, man? Bring back Hardys. You know, we're headed to totalitarianism. Bring back Hardys. That's where I'm at. I'm going to go to the picket sign, hold up my picket sign. Bring back Hardys, you fucks. Make our, you know, this sheltered life, make it a little better. Bring back Hardys. Anyways, I've been going on long enough. Am I still recording? Okay. It's like that'd be fucking fucked up if I was not. Anyways, I don't know. I'm gonna leave you on that note. You can comment, tell me I'm an idiot, tell me I'm right, tell me I'm wrong, whatever you want to do. Leave it down in the comment section. I will entertain all. Adios, keep all 18 down, and we'll talk to you real soon. Bye bye.